Hi, it's September 10th. I wanted to take a few minutes to kind of clarify a few things, update you on a few things. First of all, I have to say how impressed I am by, as a group, what you've been able to do, the quality of what you've done. Coming out of several years in the classroom, I kind of had an expectation from what I had seen other teachers doing. Some of these struggles I had seen when elementary teachers tried to integrate science or teach science. And so to be honest, I kind of had some expectations that that's where you all would start. And I've really been blown away by the quality of what you've done, the attitude, approach you've taken to it. 4 weeks in, I am much more optimistic about the future of science teaching than I was 4 weeks ago. So thank you for that. I really have been impressed. On the evaluative feedback assignment, I know there was confusion. I could see that going through the submissions that the directions weren't as clear as they were to me when I was just by myself writing them. So if you lost points on it, some of you, when you turned it in, I had specific comments about, hey, you can resubmit this. If you lost points and I didn't put a specific comment, you still can. So if the issue was that the directions weren't clear enough, sorry about that. Feel free to fix it, redo it, whatever. It's probably best if you just email it to me if you're redoing it, so then I know to actually go and update the grade. A lot of you, I think my directions weren't very clear, but in what you did, I was still able to see what I was looking for, which is providing feedback in a way that's not just about assigning a grade to an assignment, but really looking at how students are thinking about things scientifically. So, great job with that. You did wonderful with that. On any future assignments, if you're looking at something and the directions are not clear, please do not hesitate to email me. I know some of you that maybe was, you opened it at 10 o'clock last night or something, and you're like, he's not going to answer it before it's due. I get that. But if you look at it like, these directions don't make sense, please email me. I'm not going to be offended by that. I kind of, I developed these sort of in a vacuum by myself, and I don't know what's going to make sense or how it's going to come across when you all look at it. A suggestion, because this is the first time I've taught this class, so there are going to be some issues like that come up where directions aren't as clear as I thought they were, or whatever. So something I do, especially the first time I teach a class, is I keep a document of just notes to myself so that next semester I go through and I'm like, oh, that assignment I need to make the directions better. So especially when you're first starting off teaching and it's the first time through a class or something, come up with some sort of system to make notes for yourself, because you might think, oh, next year I'll remember to blank, and you won't. So keep some sort of note system that works for you so you can be like, oh, hey, next time I teach this, I need to change the directions. I need to give more time, less time, whatever. After 5, 7, 10 years, then you start to remember it, and maybe you don't have to keep that, but definitely the first time you teach a class, keep a list like that. Next thing, moving into the read aloud activity, and then kind of beyond that, we have some lesson plans. The purpose of the yellow dig for those is to give you a spot to put a rough draft or whatever, and get input from classmates. You don't have to record you doing the activity. Like, if you want to, you can. If you want to write it up, you can. If you want to put like half a Word doc that you're like, I don't know, I'm just stuck here. What input do you have? That's fine. I know sometimes discussion boards can feel like a chore, and so my hope is that doing it this way, it doesn't feel like as much of a chore, and it feels like something that can actually be helpful. My vision is that it kind of takes a more informal approach, and it's a space that you can just like get some input from each other when you get stuck, because that happens. One final thing in this update, as we get to those activities and lesson plans, if you've either been able to attend the guest speakers on Wednesday for those Zoom sessions, or if you watch the recording, the activities that they share, and in the last couple weeks, I think there's been some really good ones, activities that they share are fair game to integrate into your lesson plan. So if you watch one of those, whether live or if you go back and watch the recording, if you go, oh, I like that activity, later in a week or two, you do an Earth Systems activity plan. Like I'm gonna use that in it. Cool. When you get to your internship part and you're doing your big lesson plan, or like your formal lesson plan right at the end, you're like, hey, I want to use that activity that Dr. Brettel showed us with describing and drawing something. Cool. You absolutely can do that. So those aren't off limits. If you're kind of stuck on planning an activity, maybe go back and watch those, and there's something else stand out, and you're like, oh, I could use that. So that's all fair game. That's one of the goals of those guest speakers, is that it's a place you can get ideas and that you can use in your lesson plans. A lot of just like the practical piece of teaching is seeing ideas somewhere and adapting it to fit your situation. And so most things I did in the classroom, even things that maybe hadn't been done in high schools before, were things I saw somewhere. It was something I saw someone doing, maybe in a college class, maybe in a different setting. I'm like, hey, that's really cool. I think I could modify it to fit my situation. And that's what I did. There's not a whole lot of just like flat out original ideas out there. Most of the time in teaching, what it is finding ideas elsewhere and making them fit your situation. So don't feel like you can't use any of those. That's what they're there for. Again, thank you so much for the incredible work you've done so far. Thank you for your the positive attitude you've brought to this, and just the kind of the enthusiasm with which you've approached it. I've just been blown away. It's been a great experience for me. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions. You can email them if we need to set up a Zoom meeting to just like one-on-one go through what you're doing. I'm more than happy to do that. I have a pretty flexible schedule, so I can do that. Anyway, I hope this helps. I'm excited to see what happens as we keep moving forward in the class. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and you're able to get outside at least a little bit.